So this is an AMT 1957 Ford Fairlane 500 model kit. It's 1/25th scale. Got it at a yard sale for about $2. And basically this is what we did with it. Full detail. Basically put it on an MDF plaque. That way we had a base, a good solid base that we could start with. MDF is really easy to cut. It routers really nicely. It's solid when it's glued and screwed in. So I'm going to show you how to make the bases for these model kits. Also, we're going to show you how to keyhole them so you can just hang them on the wall and they're beautiful. So let's get some measurements first because this is pretty good for measurements. So the base is 14 inches long, wide or long, right? The side of the base is 7.5 inches long. Turn this around, we make the backing plate just a little bit shorter to match our routering edge, so it's nice and even. Yeah, you can see that. Okay, so this backing plate here is 13 3/4 wide. From the plate here that sits on the main MDF up is 8 inches high. And then we put a keyhole in the back here, right? So you put your screw head in here and you just slide it along. The inside of this is hollow. So the screw head just basically stays inside that groove. So we set up one of our measurements already on the table saw. This is 7.5. 7.5 is going to be the backing plate. 7.5 by 14. So we're going to run this through the saw. The next measurement we have is 8. We're going to run one that's 8. One of these table saws, the arms are usually never proper. You can tighten them down on one end, but they'll be slightly in on the other, and you can't push it with her. It gets stuck. So that's 8. So the 8 plaque is 13 3/4. I'm going to mark one here. I'm going to go down the other end and mark 13 3/4 as well. And this is 8 inch. I'm just going to write that down there. This one here is 14. This is a 7.5 inch piece. Right? 7.5. So this is 14. Go down the other end and mark 14. All right, so 7.5, so we remember we're not fumbling later when we go to build another model kit. Now, I'm going to go over to the miter saw. First measurement. Okay. Just marked 7.5 over there, so this is 8. Okay, good. That's done. Okay, so this router table, I've marked a line here and a line here. It's even from here to here. Okay, this is a key holder. Our key holder is set up so it goes halfway through the wood down below. We still have a bottom surface down here. Okay, and we have a little bit at top, a little bit at the bottom. This will cut a hole right through. This is not like a router table. This is not where something where you push it like this. This has to be set up on this line. Has to be dropped straight down, right? And once this board is flat onto this plate, then you move it across. And once it's moved across to this line, then you lift it straight back out. That'll make your keyhole. So we'll do that right now. Okay. So we're just going to remove everything that's in here, loosen it up, and then we can just bang it off right here. Right? That makes your keyhole. You can take a vacuum, it's a lot easier. I don't have one up here in my workshop right now. It's down in the other workshop. So you put your screw in here when your screw's on the wall. Line the screw up in here and then just slide this along. But I'm undecided which way I want to hang my plaque. Do I want the big plate sticking out or do I want the little plate sticking out? So I'm going to keyhole the other one as well. Okay, so it's a 7.5, and that's the 8. All right, so 8 inches, 7.5. So I took these little guys outside, put them on this little easel, Get these easels at the dollar store, they're a couple of bucks. Spray painted them, just the very edges. Okay, you don't worry about the overspray on these. All we used was flat black, Rust-Oleum. Alright. Perfect for wood. So we clamp this one down here, just on the edge there. I'm going to try and slide this guy in. If that doesn't work, then I'll take the clamp off, but we'll see if that works. But I'm going to just put this here for you so you can see what I'm doing. Now we've already got the line on the back. Alright. See, it goes like this, but we turn it around and we drew our line across it. So this guy here has got to sit, and the clamp's going to be in the way, of course. So we'll just do it by hand. This has got to sit here, lined up. This little edge got to line up with that bevel. So we've got 2 drills. One is the countersink, and this one here is for our drywall screws. We're going to just use drywall screws for this. All right, star. A little bit of glue. Once we get the first one mounted, without clamping, it might be a little bit difficult. This is a glass top, otherwise I'd just screw a piece of wood right in front of it. I'm going to glue a line. You can see that. Straight up here, this will sit against here. Line it up to where you need it. That way it's not messed up when you're done. Now we already have we know that we can't drill above that line. Right? Once we're in, we're good. Right? So that's one tight, that's nice. Worked out good. Two. And we're going to put 4 in here, so I just drill 2 more holes. Screws in. I usually use a countersink, but in this case here it's the thinnest bit I've got, or the thinnest drill bit I got, and we don't want the screws messing up on us, so it'll pull these in no problems. Alright, so that's good and tight there. Don't have to worry about the excess glue.